Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yeah. I have no idea. But here we go again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome to Dawg Knight Channel, where YouTube's messing with me. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it shut down. But we're back, and I'm glad to be back, and welcome back to you. Before we started this, well, when I started this before and didn't realize that the stream had shut down because I had to go look, and I was looking at articles and not my studio, and then I come back to the studio and it's like, oh, it ended. When did that happen? How the hell did that happen? And who knows? Anyway, probably gonna have to delete the notifications because they're all wrong. If you put out a notification, X that out. I'm going to post another one here just for the shits and grins. Let's see if I can do it right this time. There we go. Got that. And okay. So, what a pain in the ass this is. So anyway, I hope you're all having a good day. I'm not. And, let's see. There we go. All right. I'm just going to quick post this on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. And there we go. I'm not even going to put a let's go. You can, if you'll put a let's go on it, I'll be happy because holy shit. So that means I got to fix this. I got all kinds of things to fix now. Well, while we're doing that, what I was saying when none of you could hear me was I really appreciate the fact that you guys come back to my little tiny show here. Because I just do this for fun. And it, okay, let's see. Did I get that? What the hell? Hang on. Good Lord. This is a pain in my ass. There we go. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. Okay. Let me fix this. Good God. What a pain in the ass. All right. Go and, copy there. Go put a let's go on this post that I just put up here because it might help. And anything you did before, change it. Thank you, Avocado Stably, putting a small bullet in the tip jar. You are the new Streamlab Superstars sponsor of the day. Screwing up not just one but two streams. Third time's a charm. Well, you get the bell anyway because you were first on 2 of the 3. And in fact, you were just first. I'm just giving you the first. Thank you. And if you want to sponsor the show, I don't know why you would want to sponsor this mess, but if you want to, pdognight.live is the best place to do it. Also, good morning, Ms. Wildwolf, Tyre Alexander. I'm not doing any music today. I'm just going through the names. I'm sorry. JB, what's up? Reaction on Puerto Rico. I almost sang it, but I said I wouldn't do it. Aaron Meredith, Mike Savage, Unacceptable Views, Lord Stanhope, Taco Paca, Resolute Germ. I said Lord Stanhope. TC's in the house. Good morning, and everyone else who's making it in. I appreciate you more than you know, because again, this is a shit show. So, I don't even know. Did I do this right? Let me try this. I have to. Oh wait, hang on a second. Let me go back here. Dashboard, alerts. I didn't even know if the alert box is right. Yeah, it's the default alert box, so that's all good. All right, good. Anyway. It's Tuesday, the 11th of March, 2025, and technology is still not my friend, even though I'm technically a boomer, but I'm I'm Gen X at heart because like I'm Gen X's older brother. You know what I mean? I grew up with all the feral kids and shit, and all the people who don't give a fuck, and you know that. So anyway, let's just get into a few news items because I just don't have the time to even figure this out anymore. Thanks for everyone who did this, though. I appreciate it. All y'all who are here with the Let's Go and stuff like that. So anyway, let's see. Let's get to what is that? So a couple of things trending. Johnny Carson. I don't know why. There's a link with a bunch of Johnny Carson stuff. But I have no idea why it's trending, so I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm skipping it. I'm skipping that. Not going to do it. Southwest Airlines trending. I guess people are mad at Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines. Is this even going to work? Yes, it is. People are mad at Southwest Airlines because they're going to start adding baggage fees and all this other extra stuff like everybody else. And so people are saying may whoever decided to ruin Southwest Airlines be immediately fired and never allowed to touch the company again. Because now they're messing up a whole bunch of stuff, I guess. People are Southwest Airlines. Oh, here it is. Here's why people are mad. And this is the Reuters article. Southwest Airlines shifts to paid baggage policy to lift earnings. Well, I thought people flew Southwest and liked Southwest because they didn't have all the little crap fees they do. Last time we flew to Denver. I'm like, I couldn't believe. Now they even charge you if you have even a carry-on bag, not just a personal line that fits on a seat, but if you have a carry-on bag, they charge you for that now at Frontier. And I was like, well, I can fit. We were traveling for only 2 days, and I just put everything in a backpack and threw it on the seat. But they can't charge you for a medical device. I have a CPAP machine that I carry around, and they've never tried to charge me that. I'm waiting for them to try to charge me for that, but they can't. They can't legally. But yeah, they charge you for all kinds of stuff. Well, apparently Southwest Airlines joining that game. Southwest Airlines said on Tuesday it would start charging some customers. Wait a minute, some customers for checked bags, ending a unique free policy as the company looked for ways to shore up its earnings. The change marks yet another departure for the Texas-based carrier's passenger-friendly policies. Last year, Southwest announced plans to end open seating, which had been central to its brand image for more than 50 years. So they're just now Southwest is just like flying anywhere, any other airline. So if you're a fan of Southwest, I am sorry. Not sorry. Good morning. It's Unacceptable Views. My other favorite Canadian, Darren Roots in the house. And somebody else show up? No, that's it. Okay, moving on. I'm going to just fly through this. Tulsi Gabbard has announced that they are revoking security clearances for a whole bunch of Biden officials and all the people who signed the Hunter Biden laptop letter. Yes, all those 51 former intelligence agents or whatever, intelligence officials who claim that the Biden laptop story in the New York Post had all the markings of a Russian disinformation operation. They're all losing their security clearances. And good, because you know what? Look, I would try to have some sympathy words, but all these people, their sole purpose was to interfere in the 2020 election. They decided that they were going to, there a whole bunch of people had a plan on how they were going to keep Donald Trump out of office in 2020, which may have been a boon for some of us. Cause I think the new cheated at, shot at, whatever president is much more focused on just doing what he said he's going to do. And, there's still going to be some rocky road down along the line. But I think in the end, he's doing things that have needed to get done for a long time. But National Director of Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard announced Monday she has revoked the security clearances of former top Biden administration officials, as well as 51 former intelligence officials who signed the letter calling the Hunter Biden laptop Russian disinformation. She also announced that former President Joe Biden is no longer receiving the Presidential Daily Brief, a summary of intelligence regarding issues and events around the world. Look, if he's getting that still, he ain't reading it anyway. And so if he's getting it, that means Jill Biden or Hunter Biden or the whoever. Okay. Should I say this? Yes, whoever wipes his ass, none of them are going to get it anyway. And Joe Biden, even if he reads it, he won't remember it in 5 minutes. By the way, did you hear about the scandal about the auto signature thing? You've heard about this? So, some people have been looking at some things that Joe Biden signed and noticed that they were all done with an auto signature, meaning it's like a stamp or whatever that just automatically signs his name, and all these different bills and different pardons and all kinds of stuff. They all have the exact same auto signature, because I guess the president of the United States, they have a bunch of auto signatures, so they don't have to sign things 80 times. And they have they have 7 or 8 different versions of a president's signature. Well, they use the exact same one on a lot of Joe Biden stuff. And we found out that some of the pardons he did, now not the ones, probably for this last group of the, dickheads, but a bunch of the pardons he did apparently were signed with an auto signature while he was on vacation somewhere. Like, he wasn't there, so he couldn't have signed him there. And, the auto signature is there where they do the auto signature, and he wasn't where the auto signature thing was. So he didn't sign any of that shit. So anyway, but back to this. Also, they revoked the security clearances of a couple law firms. One in particular, Perkins Coie, if you're familiar with that. Perkins Coie is the law firm that Mark Elias is associated with. He's that lawyer who goes around suing everybody about everything, and about especially election stuff. If someone has a new election law, Mark Elias is there trying to sue the state or whatever. And he's got about a 30% win rate. But and also Perkins Coie is the law firm for Hillary Rodham Clinton that also was involved in paying for the Steele dossier, the Russia stuff, the P tape and all that. Supposedly there's a P tape and all this, and the bogus Steele dossier. So they've revoked any security clearances for anyone who works for that law firm, because obviously they interfered in the 2016 election by creating this fake dossier. But it's interesting that nobody at that law firm and Hillary Clinton, seems like nobody in that group ever got charged with anything. Isn't that weird? Because they're saying that, Trump colluded to steal the election and blah, blah, blah. And they actually did election interference. I don't even know if election interference is legal. Is it legal? I don't think it is. But so that law firm, anyone who's associated with that law firm has lost their security clearance, including Mark Elias, who doesn't work for them anymore, but he's gone. And now the president of the United States can determine who is allowed to have security clearances. But what they also did is they also said they were going to ban people from that law firm to go into federal buildings. I don't know if he can do that. That probably won't stand up at the court, but I think the security clearances one, that's kind of a unreviewable thing. Like, the courts can't review it. That's 100% the purview of the executive branch, just like pardons. And so I guess they're SOL, but it may hurt some of their clients. I don't know. Good morning, Puffer Smiles. What's up? Nice to see you. All right. Moving on, I'm going to keep going quickly here because I want to make sure I get to the main topic. Mark Kelly is trending, the senator from Arizona. Is he still this? Yeah, Senator Mark Kelly, senator from Arizona. And this is one of those things where I go, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? So Mark Kelly was in Ukraine. He posted this, just left Ukraine. What I saw proved we can't give up on the Ukrainian people. Everyone wants this war to end, but any agreement to protect Ukraine's security can't be a giveaway to Putin. Let me tell you about my trip and why it's important we stand with Ukraine. Okay. To which Elon Musk wrote, "You are a traitor." Now, look, I get it. Mark Kelly kind of, isn't that, there's something interesting about taking your own personal diplomatic mission to Ukraine when the current president isn't necessarily on board with you. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I don't know if it's cool for Elon Musk to call him a traitor. I mean, I'm not a fan of Mark Kelly. I think he's terrible, just another Democrat, right? Yeah, he should put on some cameos and get a gun if he's that interested. But I don't know. So he writes back to Musk, Elon, if you don't understand that defending freedom is a basic tenet of what makes America great and keeps us safe, maybe you should leave it to those of us who do. Well, again, Mark Kelly, I don't know. I'm beginning to question that this thing with Ukraine has anything to do with, what do you say here? Defending freedom. I don't know, man. The more money we give to them and for a never-ending war, I think defend freedom. You try to find a way to end a war in a peaceful way and get the negotiating go. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of Mark Kelly anyway. So anyway, he's trending because a lot of people are talking about it. He's on all the shows now because Elon Musk said something mean to him. And again, but one of the most common ones that I see, and it's going to be similar to this one, someone named Scott Kelly, who's no relation to Mark Kelly, I don't think. Or maybe he is. Is he? He's Mark Kelly's brother. Eli, I thought traitor meant you switched sides and now are aligned with the enemy. That was you. Mark has been on Team America this whole life. Just saying. Well, yeah, he has. But again, what always fascinates me, and I've said this before, when did Russia become our enemy? Not just an adversary, but an enemy. And this all comes down to who I blame for our complete and utter animosity to Russia. Because remember, when Barack Obama was president, they were trying to suck up to Russia. And in fact, there's an argument to be made that Barack Obama was way more of a, what do they say, Putin puppet than Donald Trump. Ooh. So, and I came across this article from today. Putin's puppet, President Obama's truly shocking record. And this is in the American Thinker. And we remember when they said, he was telling the Russian foreign minister or something, well, we have to wait till after the election and then maybe we can, then we have more flexibility. Remember that? We hear a lot of talk about how Trump has upset norms and abandoned our allies and sided with the dictator. But so far as I can tell, while Trump is siding with Putin, nobody has ever accused him of wooing Putin. Wooing isn't even my word. It's the Washington Post, and it's not about Trump. It's about Obama. See, in May 2012, having watched Obama debase himself for the better part of 4 years, the Post had enough and called it wooing. Okay, show. Wooing. Trump's been accused pretty much of everything as it relates to Putin, but never wooing. Woo, come on over here, boy. I got to see some of that. When one reviews Obama's table-setting rhetorical blunders and truly shocking betrayal of allies stripped of the whipped cream of the legacy media, it makes it painfully easy to see who was in reality aligned with Putin and was in fact his puppet. It starts months before the 2008 general election. In the final October presidential debate, Obama makes his intentions clear. Quote, we simply cannot return to a Cold War posture with Russia. Weeks later, and remember, because isn't that when Mitt Romney was saying our greatest geopolitical foe on earth was Russia, and Obama's like, the 80s called and he wants his foreign policy back. Weeks later, having won the White House and before even assuming office, Obama tells his transition team, get busy with the reset. Remember Hillary Clinton and the reset button? Next, Obama, via Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, makes his intentions tangible with a gift, a literal reset button, except, oops, turns out, peragruska, the word they had printed on the button, means overloaded or overcharged. Summer comes to the first year of Obama's new presidency, and he travels to Moscow. Surely his young Ivy League mob of overeducated White House aides have done voluminous research in advance of the trip, and so the likelihood of him having another Preguska moment is small. Oops! Obama speaking in Moscow, he says, "Good afternoon. Добрый день." Applause. "It is a privilege to join all of you today. Russia and the first U.S. established diplomatic relations more than 200 years ago, and along the way you gave us a pretty good deal in Alaska. Thank you." A little good humor is always good, right? Wrong. Tsar Alexander's II sale of Alaska to the United States in 1867 for $7.2 million in gold and around 1.9 cents per acre was regarded by Russia as a national disgrace. Oops. Ouch. Sorry. Now, so what was Obama's next move? Further appeasement. By this time, angering our ally Poland, he reneges on America's promise to provide them with a missile shield. Russia will love that, seeing it as they do, as provocative. How could he choose such a day? That was the anguished outburst of a senior Polish officer when I asked what he thought. The announcement came on September 17th, the 70th anniversary of the Soviet invasion of Poland. Oh, my. Oops, double ouch. Okay, well, that was worse than planned. Then 2010 brings with it hope and change of Russia's Silicon Valley, Skolkovo. Obama is convinced that the U.S.-Russia economic potential is great, but it turns out ultimately to be pitiful except for Russia. Reports arrived not long after Skolkovo got up and running that pretty much any Western tech operation fool enough to set up shop there was immediately spied on and ripped off. As the National Review described it, it's unlikely Putin could believe his good fortune. The project was like an espionage operation in broad daylight, openly advancing Russia's military and cyber capabilities. Oops. Then 2011 comes, and shockingly, Obama still hasn't earned Putin's respect. So what did he do? Harm another ally. As unbelievably as it seems, Obama decides that giving up some classified intel might warm Putin's heart. Secrets are always good currency, especially when they're not really yours to tell. Information about every Trident missile the U.S. supplies to Britain will be given to Russia as part of an arms control deal. The fact that the Americans use British nuclear secrets as a bargaining chip also sheds new light on the so-called special relationship, which is shown often to be a one-sided affair. That was from, is that from a Guardian article? I can't remember what that was from. Yeah, it was an article. Surely Obama must think now that he's left Poland vulnerable and dropped England's nuclear pants, Putin will be favorably impressed. Not so much. Months later, during a televised meeting with supporters, Putin openly threatens nuclear war against America, and Obama, whom he derides as a self-styled master of the planet, he says, "We are the largest nuclear power," Putin says. And, now a crafty old KGB agent doesn't say, "My nuke pile's bigger than your nuke pile," unless he means it as a threat. And that brings us to 2012. Springtime is in the air in Washington, and once again, our young president's fancy turned to thoughts of sharing more classified information with Vladimir Putin. Obama decides on a little, "I'll show you mine, but you don't have to show me yours." So this is from Reuters. The Obama administration disclosed on Tuesday that it is considering sharing some more classified U.S. data with Russia. Oh, great! Freaking great! Hello, Midnight Exile. What's up? Oh, and special can ask him on the honorable mention list of my favorite Canadians, and K-Shaw's in the house. I already said K-Shaw. Now, one might think that the president's puppy dog entreaties to Putin might finally at long last be tempered, and that Obama might remember himself and have a little bit more dignity, but no! Just 3 weeks later, the infamous hot mic incident took place where he said, "I'll have more flexibility after the November election." Just 2 months later, Obama invites Putin for an honored visit at the G8 summit in Camp David. What did Putin do? He blew him off. And that's when Obama lost the Washington Post, which had seen quite enough. Quote, headline, Obama's misguided wooing of an uninterested Putin. And here's a quote. A rude rebuff. Obama had tailored the conclave to Putin and had dispatched an administration official to Moscow to hand Putin what a Russian official described a message that Obama was ready to cooperate with Putin. Putin's response was to skip Camp David. So 4 solid years of rhetoric and importantly choices actions which had Trump chosen them, any one of them would have branded him rightly a puppet of Putin. But because the one did them, well, his heart is pure and his intentions were good. For him, it was just diplomacy or some other bullshit. All right, there you go. That's a great article in the American Thinker about how really Obama just wanted to smell his nutsack or something. Anyway, thank you, Avocados Diablo, another sponsor, 223 in the tip jar, who says, are we defending freedom or protecting the regime we installed? Apparently those are one at the same for some. Yeah, that's pretty much, at least during the Biden administration was. Biden was protecting the regime that Obama got put in place. Yeah, thank you very much. All right. Wait, to be honest, if Nazis and communists want to massacre each other, let them. Oh, snap. All right, let's move on. Tesla's trending because a whole bunch of man, in some places it's tough to own a Tesla right now. People have been vandalizing Tesla vehicles all over the country. There was one, I don't know if it was a sports arena parking lot or not, but it must have been during an event that I think 44 Teslas in the lot all had their wheels stolen. Like, I don't know even how you do that. How do you steal the wheels of 44 vehicles, at any time period? But all these, all these people are leaving and all these cars there, and you see this parking lot full of Teslas with no wheels on them. But anyway, just in, Elon Musk says Doge will achieve $1 trillion in savings unless we are stopped. Savings at this point exceed $4 billion per day. I don't even know about that. But here's someone that says, it's incredibly kind and generous of Elon Musk to help America become fiscally responsible. We all owe him a huge debt of gratitude. Nikola Tesla was unappreciated. Okay, that's not why Tesla's trending. Oh, this Lily Tang Williams, she's the one who ran for office in Maine. She bought herself a Tesla. She says, it's Tesla, baby. I bought it to support Elon Musk and Doge. We, the free people, must defeat the leftist, Marxist, communist mobs so they will destroy America. She's a Chinese immigrant who cannot stand communism and communist China. But now a lot of the Tesla dealers are getting vandalized. So here's a picture of them protecting a Tesla dealership in Chicago because they were having a protest there. And a lot of Tesla dealers around the country are being vandalized. Someone here says, I drive a Honda, but I'm on Team Tesla. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, here's one of the reports. And look, Josh Hawley says, follow the money as far as some of these protests, which some of them are being organized.
And I guess that's why they don't really care about the climate. It was never about lowering the Earth's temperature, because if you really cared that much, you wouldn't burn an electric car, Senator. What about the terror financing angle to hit them with? I mean, if you're giving money to a group that ends up using it to foment violence against people, why can't you go after Soros if he's funding these attacks?
Oh, we absolutely should.
Yeah, they don't know if Soros is financing the attacks, but look, the way that Democrat money is thrown around, they'll give it to one organization, which will give a grant to another organization, and they'll tie it to another organization that does the protests. So they, their paper trail is pretty crazy. Or they use Act Blue, but Act Blue may be going down. A bunch of their, as we talked about the other day, a bunch of their leadership is left because they're getting caught with all these fake donations that they've been getting from people. They've been money laundering, they're laundering somebody's money to as people who have no way or means of donating as much and as many times as they did, even though they've recorded this, all these people with these donations, they're laundering somebody's money, either foreign governments or George Soros or, NGOs that got money from the government. They are doing it. So whatever. Anyway.
We should absolutely follow the money, and it ought to be traced all the way back to its source. And this is why I say, Jesse, the left has gotten by with this for years. This is a great project for the Department of Justice, and they ought to look at all of it.
So if you look at the screen on the right here, right here, this guy's running down the street because some guy's driving a Cybertruck, and he's beating on the Cybertruck. He's like a lunatic.
Funding these attacks. Who's funding the campus protests? Which, by the way, all of these campus protests, they're all organized, they're coordinated, they're funded. We ought to blow the lid off of that as well. Who was funding the protests in front of the justices' homes, which nearly led to justices being assassinated, Supreme Court justices I'm talking about? The left's been funding all of this stuff.
Yep.
They ought to be accountable for all of it. I love the fact that Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are all about transparency. Let's get some transparency on this dark money.
I'm just going to mention here, and I support Bondi and Kash Patel, but there's some people in that Epstein file that haven't been arrested yet. So the transparency, we'll see. But I agree with Josh Hawley here.
That is literally dangerous for the American people.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, people are vandalized. That's how they're protesting now. See, they're resorting to violence. Oh, here's someone. I support Elon Musk and Tesla, so I'm buying my 6th Tesla. I hear the new Model 3 is pretty good. I have no interest in owning a Tesla. Here's another one. See, this guy. Multiple Tesla vehicles were destroyed in Seattle in a suspected arson. Oh, suspected arson? Really? You think it's... Wait. Andy. This is Andy No writing this. Suspected arson. Well, let me see. Let's watch the video. Well, there's one. That one. Oh, there's another one. Suspected arson, huh? I'm gonna say likely, confirmed, very ultra likely arson. That's what I would say. Okay, so all right, you get the picture. All right, turn that off. So anyway, that's why Tesla's trending. Also, Deport is trending. Now, we talked about this guy at Columbia University who got taken in by ICE, right? Mahmoud Khalil. And I said yesterday, I still believe this. God forbid, I actually agree with Joe Walsh in a way. Joe Walsh has been apoplectic about this. And as I said yesterday, where is it? It is. I didn't respond to him. Oh my God, he is just. This guy must be on every day. So here's what Joe Walsh said about it, and I agree with this in principle. Okay. Oh, did I just see Woo? Are you here? Now What Studios? I could have sworn I saw you pop by here too. Hi, my friend. So here's what Joe Walsh posted, and I said this in a sort yesterday. In principle, he said, "I'm super pro-Israel, but a reminder for every American: the President of the United States cannot prohibit or outlaw anti-Semitism. In America, you have the right to be anti-Semitic. In America, you have the right to protest against the very existence of the state of Israel. You have the right to protest peacefully, okay? And you can be racist, and you can be an asshole, and you can be, sexist or transphobic or whatever. You have that right, and you have that freedom of speech, and you want to protest something, you should be able to do it. Where we have to draw the line is if protests are violent or if protests take away the rights of other people to continue whatever they're doing. Say, for example, students getting blocked into a bathroom, or if you do something illegal, then you have to determine whether it's a crime, right? But we have freedom of speech. Hello, Mrs. Hayes. But we do have freedom of speech. You have freedom of protest, and it's very broad range. We allowed the fucking KKK to march through Skokie, Illinois. We've let white hoods, do their thing or stand on the street corner and act like fuck nuts. But they're right, and that's kind of the trade-off on being an American. If we have freedom of speech, as long as you are not harming other people, you're not doing illegal shit. Now, back to this guy, Mahmoud. What's his name? Mahmoud Khalil. The question is whether or not the Columbia students were breaking the law, and he's the one. If he's the one who is encouraging people to break the law. Now, Columbia apparently was having he was not an American, and he was here on a visa. Exactly. He was here on a visa, and he's on a green card, which can be revoked at any time if you break the law. And I don't know how easy it is if someone has a green card to do that. But, clearly it's part of the executive branch. Immigration policy is 100% a part of the executive branch. So there's a lot of opinions about this. Let's get Scott Jennings and the CNN crew. Scott Jennings really the only reason to watch CNN anymore. Well, no, actually, I like these panels, but it's always because Scott Jennings puts them in their place. But let's see how Scott Jennings took this.
He's a resident alien. He can be deported under U.S. law for if the Secretary of State has any reasonable ground to believe he would have a potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequence. And you mentioned the student organization.
Hello, Amazing Disgrace.
The student organization
put
out.
Let me finish. But before you move on, because I think that's a really important point, right? That's the statute that they're using.
Yeah.
Have you seen any evidence to suggest that there is actually a serious reason to believe that this student is going to be a threat to national security?
I think. Like I said, yeah, you can. Here.
I've certainly watched the abomination that's gone on at Columbia and Barnard and other places, and I will just tell you. And I'll just tell you.
I'm not going to let you move on because this is.
I'll tell you why it's a threat to national security if you let me answer you.
Well, Scott.
Do you want me to answer you or not?
Okay.
His organization says we are dedicated, fighting for the total eradication of Western civilization.
Okay.
He's not a citizen. He doesn't need to be.
He's not a citizen. So yes,
points that you disagree with. Again, is that enough to have someone lose their rights?
It's not just disagree.
He has viewpoints that, in my opinion, jeopardize the security of the United States.
But how?
He is obviously a radical who is here to foment.
No, he's not a radical at all.
Violence against the United States government.
He wants to destroy Western civilization.
Against the United States government.
You're saying eradicate Western civilization doesn't make you a radical?
Has he acted in any way that is violence against the United States government, as you just said?
I think these protests and the violence they have fomented and the intimidation and fear against the Jewish kids on these campuses is absolutely an act of insurrection against the United States.
I don't think it's American speech, Scott.
Oh, she's going to keep going. I guess it's only showing Scott's version.
That's enough.
Look, yes. Look, what they have engaged in is a clear threat to the United States. And if you want the United States to be overrun by radicals the way Europe has, be my guest. But I think the president needs to stand up for the integrity of the United States.
What is the threat?
The threat of our country and our college campuses being overrun by radicals who are trying to run Jewish kids off of campuses and anybody else who disagree. Yes, they are. In UCLA.
No,
in UCLA.
First of all,
they wouldn't even let them go to class.
First of all,
Columbia's an abomination.
First of all, there were violent counter-protests at UCLA that were done by Jewish organizations.
No, both sides. Anti-Semitism is a scourge on this country. Do not.
It absolutely
is that it is not clear that.
Okay. You can watch the rest of that on your own. In fact, I'll make a separate link. I'm not going to watch it. There's still much more of it, but I'll make a separate link for it. So anyway, that's why deport is trending, because a lot of people are talking about that particular case. Even though there's other instances of deportation, police are clashing with, here, this is in New York City, police clashing with Palestine protesters in New York City after ICE arrests their pro-Hamas ringleader. And this is Nick Sorter, because he's going to be hyper pro-Trump position. Deport every last one of these anti-American shit stains. So sick of living amongst people who hate us. They should not be here. other people oil for random people want to argue about whether or not we should deport left-wing university students, while I'm over wondering when we can start deporting left-wing university faculty. Yeah, that's funny. And here it is. Save and send these 3 images of 8 USC 1182 and 8 USC 1227 United States Criminal Code to anyone who says it is unlawful to deport non-citizens and non-nationals for expressing support for terrorist activities or organizations. Here's what they highlighted. Terrorist activities in general. Any alien who, and we went through this yesterday, Section 7, endorses or espouses terrorist activity or persuades others to endorse or espouse terrorist activity or support a terrorist organization. And then the other section here, they show you from or the subchapter, what any alien who the Secretary of State, after consultation with the Attorney General or the Attorney General, after consultation with the Secretary of State, determines has been associated with the terrorist organization and intends while in the United States to engage solely, principally, or incidentally in activities that could endanger the welfare, safety, or security of the United States is inadmissible. So that's the statute they're using. But I highly encourage you go through this and decide. There are definitely people who disagree with that. Let's see. Oh gosh, they're talking about Ilhan Omar too. But Joe Walsh is on this kick, man, that he's saying, okay, so he's describing this past Saturday night, our government grabbed a legal U.S. resident, arrested him, and is now detaining him and is trying to quickly deport him. No charges, no trial. His wife, a U.S. citizen, doesn't know where he is. This is what authoritarian regimes do. This shouldn't happen here. Well, do they have grounds to do it? That's the other question. I'm sure some lawyers are already got their, their notepads warmed up. They're like, ooh, warm this up so I can write on it smoothly to determine whether or not that's legal or not. So we'll find out. Hello, Tyre Alexander. Hello, Select Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, I wasn't going to do that today. Tyre, you already here. Never mind. All right. Also trending, what is this? Oh, Katie Porter announces her bid to be governor of California. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited. Wait, hold on. So wait, shut that off. What? Former U.S. Representative Katie Porter has announced her candidacy for the 2026 California gubernatorial election, entering a crowded race to succeed term-limited Governor Gavin Newsom. Her announcement introduces a new dynamic to the election as speculation continues about whether former Vice President Kamala Harris will enter the race. Wouldn't that be interesting? Porter is currently the most prominent candidate in the contest, aiming to leverage her experience and notable campaign promises to stand out among potential competitors. So anyway, oh, wait, look at that. Wait a minute. Did she just put hope and grit? Should we watch her ad? No, I don't care. She's nuts. And look, okay, the California governor's race isn't waiting for Kamala Harris to make up her mind whether she's going to run. Former Democratic Representative Katie Porter announced Tuesday she's in, baby. But an advisor tells me she'll probably drop out if the former VP announces. I would love for her or Kamala Harris or anybody, go be the governor of California. That's a sinking ship. It almost doesn't matter. They're going to elect another Democrat, and they'll have a supermajority in the House and whatever they call it, the Assembly and the Senate there. I just don't care. Let's see. Katie Porter, she enters the race, the front runner in a field of currently declared candidates. Anyway, so if you want to watch her announcement, it's in the link. I'm not doing it. Now let's talk about Thomas Massie, because this is one thing that I go, what? What the hell is going on? So Thomas Massie, the congressman, is he congressman from Kentucky, who I think should try to run for the other Senate seat in Kentucky and be right there next to Rand Paul. He is very adamant about this continuing resolution, this funding bill through September, that they need to cut some shit out of it. And Thomas Massie wants to cut government spending. And I thought that was really what the Republicans and the Trump administration all were on board with. But they put together this continuing resolution so they could fund the government kind of the same way they have been, you know, with continuing resolutions instead of actual spending bills, through September. Now, there's pros and cons to that. One of it is, well, the cons is, well, they're still going to have a, $2 trillion deficit scheduled if they keep on this way. But the pro would be, that would give them another, 6 months roughly to come up with an actual spending bills, right? But the Republicans put out this bill. Of course, the Democrats are mad because they're going to take away a bunch of, they were going to cut some of the Medicaid, not the programs necessarily, but they wanted to cut Medicaid spending by $800 million. And Democrats are mad about that. And they did all this stuff, but it still has a big ass deficit to it. And so Thomas Massie, on principle, was voting against it. And that has angered the president, and that has angered many Republicans. And so the president posted something about this. He says, and this was on Truth Social, "Thank you to the House Freedom Caucus for just delivering a big blow to the radical left Democrats and their desire to raise taxes and shut our country down. They hate America and all it stands for. That's why they allowed millions of criminals to invade our nation. Sometimes it takes great courage to do the right thing." Then he adds, "Congressman Thomas Massie of beautiful Kentucky is an automatic no vote on just about everything. Well, spending, he's a spending hawk. Despite the fact that he has always voted for continuing resolutions in the past, he should be primaried, and I will lead a charge against him. He's just another grandstander who's too much trouble and not worth the fight. He reminds me of Liz Cheney before her historic record-breaking fail. The people of Kentucky won't stand for it. Just watch. Do I have any takers? Anyway, thank you again, the House Freedom Caucus, for your very important vote. We need to buy some time in order to make America great again, greater than ever before. Unite and win." Now, some people say that some of Massie's votes leave something to be desired. I see that, Renee. How you doing, by the way? And Nick Capone, my favorite Canadian. And so some people are going along with Trump on this, and some people, more libertarian types, are like, no, Thomas Massie is the voice of reason on so many things. Why would you even think of primarying him? If it's only one, you don't need him for this thing. And he's so supportive of you on everything else. Note the picture up here. So it's the one time where I see I see a circular firing squad on this. So, for example, someone here says, Team Trump, you need to vote against Massie. GOP voters, why? Team Trump, he voted against increasing spending. GOP voters like, what? Are you really that dumb? Savannah Hernandez likes it. It's a good day to stand with Thomas Massie, who has always stood for us. Yes, he has. Somebody here said, whoever told Donald Trump to post about Thomas Massie just now should be fired. I've never seen this quick of a pushback and condemnation against something Trump has said by one of his most loyal followers, or by his loyal followers. People love Thomas Massie. I like Thomas Massie. He's not right on everything, but he's right the vast majority of the time. Nick Sorter. Okay, Nick, remember, if Trump says it, Nick Sorter agrees with it. Somebody says he actually even said this. Even as one of President Trump's most loyal, here, he's replying to Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson said, President Trump says Congressman Thomas Massie should be primaried and he will personally lead the charge. And Nick Sorter, who always agrees with Donald Trump, even as one of President Trump's most loyal supporters, I disagree with this. Representative Thomas Massie was the only member of Congress who stood up to the COVID boondoggle when the world went freaking mad. The chamber booed and jeered, but Massie was right. I came here to make sure our republic doesn't die in an empty chamber by unanimous consent. Here, listen to Tom. This is Thomas Massie back then.
Mr. Speaker, I came here to make sure our republic doesn't die by unanimous consent in an empty chamber, and I request a recorded vote.
Good for him. You should. Oh, I'm tired of the
recorded vote is requested. Those favoring a recorded vote will rise and remain standing.
Should be always
counted.
a recorded vote.
An insufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is refused.
Mr. Speaker.
Is the gentleman recognized?
I object on the basis that a quorum is not present and make a point of order that a quorum is not present.
The chair will count for a quorum. Counted for a quorum is present. The motion is adopted.
Okay, so that was Democrats.
Without objection, a motion to...
All right, so anyway, that's not that important. But a lot of people are like, wait, why are you fucking with Thomas Massie? So here was the real deplorable. Let's see if someone who supports Trump here. The statement from Trump was made to hold the Republicans together on the continuing resolution. Why is this so important? I don't have a clue, but I haven't wavered yet in supporting Trump. The alternative is not an option for me or this country, in my opinion. I believe his motives to save America are pure, real, and necessary. I will not back down. Well, who's he talking about? I feel this way too, and I love Thomas Massie. President Trump has a plan. I stand with him. We don't have to know all the details. Actually, they should not be telling many things before they do it. The element of surprise is crucial sometimes. Look. If Trump gets what he wants and Thomas Massie votes against it, I don't care. I don't think he has to vote against it. And there's a lot of people supporting Massie, though. Thomas Massie is the best person in Congress, and it's not even close. We can disagree with Massie about the continuing resolution. That's fine. But the idea that he needs to be ousted from Congress is just asinine. You will not find very many elected Republicans who have more consistently gotten most issues right over the past 5 years. Go ahead and try to come up with a name or the list. Give me 10 Republicans with a better track record. Anyone supporting the call for Massie to be primary should be able to list at least 10 elected Republicans who have a better voting record. Go ahead. Let's see it. That's a good point. I am, the continuing resolution, if the real purpose of passing it is just to get it to a real bill by September, I can almost live with that because, Democrats want to shut the government down anyway and then blame on our Republicans. But look, I swear to God, if they don't come up with a real budget this year, I'm going to be done with everyone in Congress, to be honest with you. But I could see you needing time to do that. And if the continuing resolution to get us through September does that, very begrudgingly, could support it with conditions. I can understand Massie voting against it on principle. So other things trending because of that, the continuing resolution, Thomas Massie voted. But again, Massie did vote for Joe Biden's continuing resolution and handed him a blank check, but he can't in good conscience vote for the continuing resolution Trump needs. They're saying Massie is a clown. Okay. Matt Walsh, we can disagree with Massie about the continuing resolution. That's fine. But the idea that he needs to be ousted from Congress is just asinine. We already read that one. I'm siding with Thomas Massie on this. The continuing resolution is an insult to fiscal sanity and a sign of business as usual for D.C., which is what we're trying to get away from. I agree with that. Massie isn't an automatic no vote, but he's a no vote for spending. If you cut government, he will vote yes, I assure you. Just support his bill ending the what? Ending the Department of Education and see. Yeah. So that's the wrong person to primary. I'm sorry. We don't need to primary. Thomas Massie himself says, I'm not voting for the continuing resolution budget, cut, copy, paste, omnibus this week. Why would I vote to continue the waste, fraud, and abuse DOGE has found? We were told the continuing resolution in December would get us to March when we could fight. Here we are in March, punting again. The argument for continuing resolution in September 2024 was to fight. Okay, that's the same thing. I mean, bad Trump, muy bad Trump. What do we need time for? Literally just control F the CR for dollar signs and reduce all the dollar amounts by, you find by 20, 40, 75 for US, 75% for USA. No, yeah, cut and paste it, except you cut 2% from every department in the fucking entire government and see how they survive, because they know there's a lot of waste and crap in our fucking federal budget. So anyway, there you go. Let's see. I think this also, AIPAC is trending because Trump is now calling for Representative Thomas Massie to be primary, the only Republican without an AIPAC handler. Sorry, but Trump is losing me on this one. I stand with the man who's incorruptible and lives American values like no other politician. Whose side are you on? So Thomas, he's not a big PAC money, period. What else? And then Rand Paul is trending. His wife wrote, great memory of Representative Thomas Massie and his brilliant wife, Rhonda, who live in our hearts. Rand and Thomas have science backgrounds. Rand is an MD. Thomas is an MIT-educated engineer with 24 patents. They have analytical minds and vote on principle. We need more of them. Agreed. I think this whole kerfluffle with Thomas Massie is muy no goodo. So, all right. I'm kind of behind the schedule here, obviously, because of my little glitch earlier today. So I'm going to finish up with something that made me laugh, and then there's several articles on an aggregator in the that'll be the links today. But I wanted to just, I don't know what's going on with JD Vance. Okay. For some reason, over the last couple days, JD Vance has been the subject of, how would I describe this? I would describe it as a meme-a-thon. Just tons of JD Vance memes. And I'm going to give you one sample, and then I'm going to have the link here, okay? And they're both from the left and the right, which is amazing because, you go, wait a minute. The left actually has had a few funny ones too. But I'm going to start with this one. We're going to look at a few Vance memes. This one right here, I find hilarious. And again, we're just gonna scroll through and find Vance memes. Where? Let's see. Here's one of Vance as Thomas Jefferson. Oh my goodness. Let's see. There's this one. He's as Leonardo DiCaprio. From whatever movie that was. Is that from? I don't know what that's from. I don't know what this is from. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave this link open too. But here is a quick compilation of multiple JD Vance memes, which are all very, very interesting. But he's like, over the last few days, thousands and thousands of JD Vance memes. So here we go. We'll just play through this and see how far we get. So that's Julius Caesar and with the tiger and this and that. They're just going too fast. They've been going off on doing JD Vance memes. I don't know why. There are Vance memes in the sky. Fuzzy logic. Just. It's been crazy. And some of these are hilarious. And some are just why? And some are like, I don't know. And the Chucky one of the. Anyway, so yeah, for some reason, JD Vance is the most memeable human on the planet for the last few days. So I have the link. It's the very last link in today's links, and you can just scroll through it. There's tons of them, hundreds and hundreds of JD Vance links from all over the internet. So I hope you enjoy those. Like I said, I'll drop these links in the chat in just a moment. as soon as this thing finished processing. 3, 2, 1, and still going slow. But that's got to be it today, because I got shit to do, and that's kind of every day. Thanks for everyone for joining me. Thank you everyone for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. What is going on with my damn computer? It's fucking up. Hang on. It's just taking too long. It's processing still. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Oh yeah, that was good. Why is this not going? Good Lord. Oh, well, while I'm waiting, thank you, Avocados Diabli, dropping another small bulletin tip jar, saying the memes started to make fun of him, and that meeting in the Oval Office, at the meeting in the Oval Office, and he embraced it. Well, yes, it started out with Democrat or lefties, being pissed off about whatever he does, because that's kind of how they are. And this thing is taking too long. All right, the links might have to. Oh, there we go. Finally, good Lord, what took that so long? That was terrible. It was terrible. There we go. All right. Yeah, it started out with people, trying to take a shit on him, and it ended up everyone else doing really fun memes of him. So here are today's links. And there we go. Cut and paste. That's it. I got to go. Thank you for joining me today. We'll see you tomorrow. Regular Bat Channel. By the way, 2 weeks from yesterday, will be my 1500th episode. I didn't realize that was coming up so fast. 1,500 of these I will have done. Coming up 2 weeks from yesterday. Although I'm tempted to do an extra episode like on a Saturday, just so I could do the 1,500th episode on a Friday. But if you have any suggestions of what we should do for my 1,500th episode, I was tempted to have guests, or maybe just do a full day of reaction videos, like maybe the whole day, and just cancel my daytime thing and do a day of reaction videos, or reacting to stuff. But if you have anything that you'd like me to do a reaction to, I'm gonna start requesting that you send me things. You can send them through X or through email at pdognight at Gmail, or on X, direct messages. My DMs are open. If you have anything you want me to share with the audience and make fun of or do commentary on, I would greatly appreciate you doing that. So that's it. Gotta go. My name is Dawg Knight. And of course, I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thanks for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.